Good evening, good evening, good evening, and welcome back to Let's Talk Grief. This is the City of Hearts where we deep dive into real conversations, we explore raw emotions, and we hold space for parts of grief that most people don't talk about out loud. This is where love, loss, and anger, healing, and truth all gets a seat at the table. And good night. Hello, how are you? Thank you for tuning in with us tonight. We have a special guest with us, author Danny. She's new to some, but not to all. And I would love to bring her to the stage, author Danny.
Hey. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, grand rising. Go to bed, wherever you at in the world once you see this, whatever time of the day it is. Hi, everybody.
It's so awesome to have you with us again tonight. I know that this is not your first time with us, and it won't be your last. But I just want to take a time and have a conversation with you. Typically, when we have a conversation, we're having a conversation about specific topics, or we're having conversations about books. But tonight, we're having a conversation about Danny, Danny's world. So I'm here for it all. So, Danny, I just want to thank you for trusting us with your story. And how are you feeling walking into this conversation tonight?
Well, those of you who know, I just had major surgery. Um, I had my whole left shoulder replaced, which is not a little feat. As a matter of fact, we're just under 3 days shy of a month out from surgery. So, been in and out of pain. I think today is the first day that I had my shoulder brace off for the whole day. So, feeling pretty good today. Emotionally, mentally, I'm blessed. I'm good. What I'm learning as I've gotten older is that I control how my day goes. And I no longer have the luxury of allowing people to take me outside of my happy place, and wherever I am, whether I'm in Nova Scotia, whether I'm in New Orleans, whether I'm in New York, New Jersey, Atlanta, Africa, Bali, wherever I am, I can choose my happy place. So it's pretty good
Absolutely.
today.
Absolutely.
Pretty good,
I love that. I've been seeing your little your caption in my
Hmm.
happy place, somewhere in my
That's
happy
it.
place. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. So for those who may not know you yet, who's Danny beyond the titles of author, advocate, deacon? You know, who's Danny?
Danny is a loving, caring individual who had a lot of childhood trauma that was unfortunately imposed upon me. It took me a long time to learn that it wasn't my fault and I didn't have to live in that place. I am one of the nicest people that you want to meet. My heart is as big as the world. But when I'm pushed the wrong way, I could be the most evil, sinister person that you ever want to lay your hands on. Um, and today, what I'm realizing is that that person was bestowed upon me by a monster. Somebody had asked me in an interview before, you speak of monsters. I have a documentary out called Harlem, The Making of the Monster. And the monster is me, right? I was the monster that was created. So the interviewer asked me, was that created by another monster? And it absolutely was. Um, but as I've gotten older and as I've gotten to a place of healing and peace, I don't have to remain the monster. I don't have to be Godzilla. You know, uh,
Absolutely.
yeah.
So
So
I love that you shedded light on that because most people like to highlight their good attributes.
mhm.
But in order to embrace the whole you, you have to embrace that shadow side as well.
Oh yeah,
Um, and know that, yes, we all have those anger moments. We all have those ways that we're not most proud of, but they
mhm.
are a part of who makes us who we are.
Yeah,
So,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, I love that you shed a light on that for sure. Now, The world knows you wrote on Love Language of Grief, Volume 1 and Volume 2, When the Love Still Speaks. What
Hmm.
inspired you to share your story in Love Language of Grief, Volume 1 and Volume 2?
Well, grieving is something that's inevitable. Uh, you're going to, if you live as you live, you're going to grieve. Just like when we live, we're going to die. Um,
Mhm.
if you remain alive and you stay living, you might not know how that feels, or you might not know when you're going to grieve. But as long as God gives you breath in your body, eventually you're going to grieve.
Yes.
It took me a long time, and some of the things that I wrote about in the book. It took me a long time to realize that I was grieving certain things. When you walk around and you live in a facade in your own mind as to um, how your life went or how you thought it should remain. Um, it takes it takes a lot of work to realize that, first of all, grieving is basically love with nowhere left to go for that specific thing or that individual. You know, um, you might not see that individual. You might not have had a great relationship with that individual, or you might have had a closeness with a thing that you were attached to that you loved more than life itself, right? Um, when that thing leaves you, or when that person leaves you, you're going to grieve it because it became the biggest part of you. So when God placed you in my life and I saw that you were looking for a writer or writers to do this wonderful anthology, it was at a time in my life where I had just finished my, award-winning book um, about, my childhood trauma. And I had just gotten to that place of that grief, and it was all over me.
Absolutely.
And in different ways, more ways than one. So me being the person that I am, and knowing that part of my calling is to help people who are in a place that I might have been or I was stuck in for a while, to get to another place, a freeing place, a healed place, a different place, a positive place. What better thing to do but to jump on? And in doing so, I met a wonderful new family member.
Yes. So I'm glad that you spoke on that because my next question to you was, at what point did you realize your story wasn't just pain, it was purpose?
Hmm. You know, when you live all of your life trying to prove yourself to people, um, when you live all of your life trying to make somebody love you, or trying to just get that's good. You did that right, because of all of the years that you did wrong, or even if you didn't do something wrong, you know, because you were so busy trying to prove that you were right, or you could be a good person, or, you know, it's like, maybe I am, you know what I'm saying? A good person. Maybe I am grieving. Maybe I am in a place where I need to heal. And I think what happened with me was, after I had been clean and sober for 20 years. And during that 20 years, I thought I was doing a lot of work on myself. But what I realized after a very shameful and painful relapse was that I wasn't doing the work that I needed to do on me. I was just doing the outside superficial stuff for you guys. Again,
Yeah,
trying to prove myself, trying to show you I am that person.
it's
And then
fine.
I didn't realize that I wasn't that person. Why? Because I I hadn't worked on that child, that inner child, that pain, that hurt child. So I didn't know that I had to heal. A lot of us walk around and say, this is just who I am. So you want to accept me for who I am or not? No, that's not who you are. And if you just open up a little bit and allow some of that healing power, some of that, that grace that God gives us and just wants us to pass on to someone else, you don't even know that you are You just need to be healed. People think I'm broken and I'm damaged and that's that. No, that's not that. Okay, you realize that you're broken and you're damaged. Okay. So what do we do? When you break a nail, you
What do
put
you
some
do?
nail glue on it, right? When you have a cold, you take something for a cold. If you have a cut, right? You determine how deep or how shallow that cut is. That's the determination on whether you just need a band-aid or whether you need to take you behind the urgent care and get some stitches, right? So
Yeah.
that's when you realize that, like, yo, I need to heal. And it's not going to heal if you just keep putting on band-aid over something that needs stitches. So once I got back into recovery and I wrote my book, it opened up a whole new world to me that I thought I had already dealt with. But in doing so, with a different lens, it wasn't the rose-colored glasses this time. It was really just a different lens. I needed a bifocal in them suckers. I needed to look deeper. And in looking deeper at myself, I realized that wow, I need to do some work. I need to do some deep dive,
Yeah.
and the superficial wasn't gonna work. So
I love that you spoke on that. I really want to put a pin right there for a moment, if we can, because you spoke on some very very key points, and some things that I had to experience also in my own life, and I am still experiencing because I'm still on that journey. You spoke about the external validation, man. So within that external validation, we do we feel that we are doing the work, but we're not doing the work. We're still masking. We're still living up to everyone else's expectation, society expectation.
yeah,
And that is one of the most draining, heaviest loads to carry
very
in life.
bad.
It is. And freeing yourself from that, I really feel like that is when you propel into your purpose. Once
Yes.
you free yourself from the expectations of the world and you truly go within. I loved how you reflected and took the accountability, because that is exactly what's needed. We have to go within.
Hmm.
Um, I'm on my journey, you
Hmm.
know. It's some things that I thought I addressed that I had to go back and revisit and sit with, and um embracing
All.
all of me, the good, the bad, the ugly, you name it. Like you, as you were speaking, I was fighting tears. I got chills because most people don't get to that place in life, and so I'm grateful
Hmm.
that I've gotten to that place in my life where I no longer need the world's validation to
Hmm.
know who
Hmm.
I am. You
Yeah.
know, um, man, I we can talk all day about that. I'm still over here fighting back tears. Tears. This was not supposed to be an emotional show for me.
It's all right. Maybe God said it was. That's
Yeah,
and being that you and I have that relationship outside of what we show each other or what we show the world through our writing or
yeah.
what we show the world through the podcast. We
Mhm.
have that type of relationship. And the funny part about it is that from day one, it was a bond. It was, and it wasn't something that was big and outlandish, and it was like we clicked from day one, and it was like wow, like I said earlier, I gained a new family member,
Yeah.
and we're not just co-authors on, and we work on stuff together. If I know something that will be helpful to you or you could grow from or whatever, I'm always like, yo, Nisi Poo, what's up, da 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 da,
You
and vice
know,
versa.
you're
So
like that auntie for me that, you know how we have those aunties that we love dearly, but we know not to play with?
yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, and
I'm
so
that. I'm that. Yeah.
for me, even when, I'm going through things, you're like the one who I can't put the mask on. I
Yeah.
can't hide myself. I can't go put on the clothes. It's like you're gonna see right through it. It's like measles. I'm okay. No, you're not, but you'll tell me when you're ready. So you're that auntie for me, like auntie coming. Like
Yeah, yeah,
let me
yeah, yeah.
the transparent auntie,
Hmm.
you have to
But the beauty is that you feel comfortable enough with me. Our spirits have connected in a way where you feel safe. This is a safe space for you. You know it's not going to go any further. You know I'm not going to judge you. You know we're going to pray if we need to pray. We're going to cry if we need to cry. We're going to scream. We're going to cuss if we need to cuss. But by the time that phone call is over, you are going to feel lighter, and that's the importance. That's what aunties are for. Those things that you
absolutely.
can't or you might not want to feel like you could bring to mama or grandmama. You know what I'm saying? You can bring to that auntie, and that's why God put me here.
Absolutely. So, auntie, what
Yes.
does writing for you? What does writing do for you emotionally and spiritually?
Spiritually, writing is a release. It's a relief. Um, it's a pressure valve that I can, when you have a pressure cooker or a crock pot, right? And you
Mhm.
close it up and you put it on slow cook, right? That's what happens when you life be lifing, and it just keeps building and building and building and building. It's like that pressure in a pressure cooker, right? But when
Yes.
I pick up that pen, and I'm still an old school writer, I know AI is taking over the world, and I know, the computers and this and that and the laptops. I still write pen and pencil.
Me too.
I write in the book, and then I go over it, read it, and I edit it as I go over it, and put it, in a form where it could be, published. But
And
what it does for me is it allows me to get to that deep, gnarly part of that pimple that's on your face. If you get the tip right, but it's like painful. It's like, oh God, because you haven't
yeah,
gotten the core. And until
yes.
you get that core out, it's not gonna go away. It's not
I,
gonna feel any better.
I
That's
totally
what writing
resonate with
is.
that because no people don't realize the power of that pen
Oh
to
no.
paper. It's magical. Like we know that artificial intelligence is taking over. We know that laptops and cell phones, with notepads exist, but it's nothing like sitting down with pen and paper and writing it out.
Because now you
And
can't run from it. When you write
yeah,
it, you can't run from it.
yeah,
Because you
you
have to
say
read it
you
back.
call it old school, but I feel that I do it too. I start with pen and paper with
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
everything that I write. I start with pen and
Yeah.
paper. So
Yeah.
it's
Before I
power.
even pick up the pen and the paper, though, I pick up a prayer, and
Yeah.
sometimes I don't even know what I'm getting ready to write about, but I ask God to speak through me. Um, Relieve me, Lord, release me. I decree and declare that when this written word is put down on this paper, which you've called me to put down, it become a Rima word for someone who needs help, for someone who needs guidance, for someone who needs healing. And then I allow God to speak through it. And whatever it's supposed to be, if in fact is something in my spirit that has been sitting dormant that needs to be released in thus,
Yes.
let me do it through my pen, because I know that's why I've been called to write. I've been
Yeah.
writing since I was a young girl.
Me too.
I used to be a recording artist. Um, that being said, I'm getting ready to release some new music, and when I was even younger than that, I wrote plays. I mean, poems and different things for an escape, because I was trying to get away from what I was feeling. And I
Mhm.
didn't think anybody would listen to me if I opened up my mouth. It took me a long time to find my voice. But in the beginning, I found my voice through writing. And it's still very cathartic for me to just sit down and say, you know.
Yep. Yes. So I found my voice in writing. I've been writing since I probably could write. So writing has always been a pastime for me.
Mhm.
But now I'm being called to find my voice vocally. So speaking, my voice is my power, and
Yeah.
so now I'm in the process, the transition, the transformation of learning to use my voice
Mhm.
vocally now. So.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. So I want to transition into your memoir, Pretty
Mhm.
Little Bastard Child.
Mhm.
Now, Pretty Little Bastard Child, if you haven't read it, you gotta go read it. You gotta go get the book. So we ain't gonna give you everything on here, but Pretty Little Bastard Child it was deeply raw and honest. What gave you the courage to tell your story so openly?
Well, like I said earlier, I was in recovery. I was clean and sober for 20 years. And during that 20 years, I wanted to write. I wanted to, I wanted to get out. You know, I lost my mother, but she got to see me clean. Um, I lost my dad. They both got to see me clean. But what people didn't realize was my mother and my father were the culprits of most of the pain that ever caused in my life. A lot of the distrust that I learned, um, just a lot of different trauma and dysfunction came from my mother and my father. And though I was clean, um, I hadn't dealt with the pain. I hadn't fully forgiven myself for the things that I did or did not do, for the times that I didn't confront situations because I hadn't found my voice. And
Mhm.
so I picked up my pen probably almost 20 years ago to write, to get it out. But I was afraid of what they would think. They meaning, you know, my family, my dad's family, people in my life who at this point saw me go through so many of the downs, though they were proud of me being clean. Oh, girl, you ain't over that yet. You know how old folks are. Oh, child, please just stop beating a dead horse. But that dead horse is what caused me to relapse after 20 years clean because
Mhm.
I hadn't faced a lot of the pain. I hadn't dealt with a lot of the shame. Um, I hadn't confronted the situations that I should have. So I didn't get to that place. I was such a hard, hard pain that I was still holding in my heart, right? And in my spirit, but I didn't have my drugs to anesthetize it anymore.
Mhm.
So, before I could just let me go get high, let me go drink something, let me go and beat somebody up or do something stupid, you know. So I didn't have to feel what I was feeling. But I didn't have that. I didn't have that any longer. I just had the pain. And the pain was raw.
Mhm.
So with the pain being that raw, the story had to be raw. I had
Yeah.
to match the pain with the story. So I could go tiptoe around it. I could go, okay, I changed certain names. If you know who my dad is, my mom was, my family was, whatever, whatever. But, out of the hundreds of millions of people in this world, trust me, not everybody knows who the hell I am, but what they will know is God allowed me to survive through a lot.
Hey,
And I
Rita.
survived through a lot. I mean, stuff, unthinkable, unbearable pain at such a young age.
Mhm.
So I could get to the place where you can't tell me that it's nothing in this place. While these things are, while these six eyes, because I got bifocals, while while these pretty browns are still open, and while I still got breath in my body, there is nothing that I cannot do as long as I put my mind to do it and I want to do it. But I run across people all the time that are walking around here bitter and hurting and just, oh, and I'm talking about been living a long time with this pain
Mhm.
and this bitterness and wonder why they're always by themselves. Wonder why nobody wants to pick up the phone.
Yes.
Why nobody want to come see your ass. Why?
Mhm. Yeah.
Because you push people away.
with the
you know.
bitterness
So
because of everything that's festered on the inside. So I'm glad that you said that because it does take courage to even address what you're feeling within.
oh,
Of course, the conditioning that has been put on us specifically, well, we can't even say that because that's across the board. What goes on in the household stays in the household.
yes,
So
child.
with
Woo.
that conditioning, I still find people who are in their 40s and 50s who cringe at having to see themselves or see the experience through a mirror,
Right,
having
right.
to experience it or even relive it or talk about it. Um, but I must say to the world who's viewing, you don't know freedom until you do.
Oh,
You don't
and
know
freedom
freedom.
ain't free. See, that's the
Freedom
thing.
ain't free.
Freedom ain't free. It took me enough courage and enough guts to get to the place of where I finally wanted to tell a story. Then, for quite a while, um, there was a division between my family and myself.
Mhm.
Some people felt like, maybe I shouldn't have gotten so gut level honest. Excuse me. Some people, it kicked up their pain for them, and that they weren't, willing to address it, or they just had swept it under the rug, or they just dealt with it however they want to deal with it. They wanted to deal with it, and because of that, here I go bringing up this old stuff. Yeah, but that old stuff kept me sick. That old stuff kept me using drugs. That old stuff kept me, you know, uh, angry all the time. That
Mhm.
old stuff kept me cussing people out on the highway, being so ready to pop off all the time. And I'm not that person. That's not inwardly the real me is not that person,
Pressure bust
and
pipes.
pardon?
Pressure bust pipes.
Yes, yes, yes. So I didn't want to live like that anymore. So after
Absolutely.
getting clean and getting back into recovery, I knew that this was the time. And God was calling me to tell me, okay, now you ready to heal, deal. You ready to feel so you can deal and heal. Because you can't do one without the other.
That's
You
my
gotta feel
favorite saying.
so
You
you
got to
could
feel
deal,
it to heal it.
so you could heal.
Yes, yes. I love it. You said feel it, deal it, and heal it. And I always say you got to feel it to heal it.
That's it. That's it.
Yes, absolutely. So, was there moments while writing that you had to pause because it became too heavy? Because you have to feel it to heal it. There is no way around it.
Good question. I'm glad you asked that because when I made the decision that I was going to go ahead and put it out there and not give a damn, because that it a big dose of not giving a damn came along with that too. It's my story. I'm not telling your story. I'm not
Mhm.
trying to make anybody feel away. I'm not trying to cause any any more dysfunction that already has been caused or I was
Mhm.
already born into. But when I started writing and I kept on going, I literally had to go back to therapy. I literally had to fall back sometimes for maybe 3 weeks, a month. I just couldn't pick it up right then. And then okay. And then I'd get to certain chapters that were a little bit more painful than others. And I'd
Yeah.
be sitting there crying and writing, but I won't stop, and yeah, oh yeah.
Yes. I know. It took me 7 months to finish the first half of my memoir. And I ain't gonna tell you, I'm still working on the second half. But
No,
that's
I
because
know.
it's authentic, it's raw, and I had to feel it in order to heal it. But what
Yeah.
I did do, what I did notice, and I'm so grateful for the writing process.
Oh.
Um,
Come here.
within part one. Is that handsome?
That's handsome. You know he can't let me be great. Come here, Duty.
In part one, um, once I was able to go back and read it, and it didn't affect me the way that it affected me before writing it and while writing it,
Hmm.
I knew that I had healed.
Okay.
And
Okay.
that's how you know when your healing is because those triggers don't trigger you the way that they
Yeah.
used to.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, how did you protect your mental and emotional health while revisiting those experiences, specifically with the molestation and the abuse?
Um.
And I will say, if you're not comfortable with answering, please just say we're and we can go on.
No, I'm good. I'm good. Because part of healing is that um, it doesn't trigger you as bad, or it doesn't trigger you as like
Right.
it once did. You know. And I told somebody, and they like, wow, how did you get through writing it and kicking all of that stuff? Because not only did Pretty Little Bastard Child, you know, I just completed volume 2, Searching.
Yes,
So that
searching.
took to the next level of
Yeah.
my life and the pain and the dysfunction and so on. Um, I kept very quiet while I was writing. I kept, like, the people who were closest to me, uh, my better half, family members, people who were closest to me, they knew that I was writing. And I would keep them at bay. Like on those days where the pain popped up, hey, listen, today's not a good day, right? Or let me hang out over here for a little while. You know, I got you, but not right now. You know, and by God's grace, people showed me grace and they loved me enough and they understood what I was doing and they gave me the space that I needed. They gave me the time that I requested. Uh, I don't want to bite your head off because this ain't got nothing to do with you. You know, so just fall back. I'll pick
Mhm.
back up with you later on. And the blessing was that I wasn't at work because I wrote my book while I was recuperating from major spinal surgery. And I couldn't go out really. I wasn't driving around doing much of anything to be around other people. You know, and God had that time. He gave me that special excuse me, he gave me that special time, you know, just for me to be able to heal me physically, emotionally, mentally, and spiritually, all at the same time, you know.
Yeah.
And it was a blessing when I finally put the end, period, period, on that book. When I tell you,
Yes.
ooh, just say that God is such a good God, man.
Mhm.
He
I
knew what I
love
needed it. He knew
yeah.
that I needed it at the time that I needed it. And he allowed me the space, the peace, the quiet, the tranquility, and the stillness to finally conquer what my purpose had been that I ran from. And I tell people this all the time. Many are called, but the chosen are few. And the chosen are few because we human, we run from our calling. It's
Yes.
the only reason why we don't become the chosen one. It's because we keep running from the calling.
Mhm.
Instead of stopping, buckling down, locking our heels in the ground, and saying, here I am.
So I want to shed some light on a few things that you said. I loved how you had community because people don't realize community is important. However, you had community that was emotionally aware and emotionally intelligent enough to know that. it's okay for you to take this space, you know. And you were emotionally intelligent and emotionally aware enough to know I don't want to project this what I'm feeling off on you.
Yeah,
So that was amazing within itself, the communication and the emotional awareness,
yeah.
you know, and that's where we as a people collectively, um you see it daily. A lot of people are not emotionally aware or
Or mature,
emotionally
or mature
mature
enough.
enough, right? And that causes more division than we know within the community, you know.
Yeah,
I tell people all the time, stop taking it so personal. Stop taking it so personal. Everything is not an attack on you,
that's
you
it.
know. Um, so I love that. Um, Also, well, you said a lot, so we gonna circle back because you said a lot within it. But I want to shift from pain to power right now.
Yeah.
What did healing look like for you in the beginning versus now? So can you give us a then and now of your healing journey?
First of all, my belief, and this is just what I believe because of what I know about human nature. I don't believe that a person ever completely heals until they go through the other side.
Yes,
Um,
it's never ending.
uh, People can believe what they want to believe, but we use the phrase heal people, right? But what I will say is healing people, heal
Yes,
people.
yes.
Because until God closes these pretty browns, if I'm not prayed up, if I'm not in the right headspace on any given day, that unhealed person that lives in me can rear her ugly little head up. Um,
Yeah, because healing is complex. It's multi-layered.
yes,
So even if you feel as if you may have healed that particular experience,
right.
10 years later, another layer of that experience
Yeah,
can pop up.
yeah,
So healing
yeah,
is a never-ending journey. I never refer to myself as healed
right,
because I know that I'm always healing.
right.
The difference
Yeah,
is I'm actively doing the work, you know.
right. And see, that's the difference between then and now. Then I threw around the slogan often, but it didn't mean nothing to me to cuss you out. I didn't have no conscience when it came to what? What'd you say? You know who I am? Whereas now it's easier for me to say, "I,
Yeah.
my bad." Even if I'm not wrong, sometimes I just say, "Oh, my bad. I apologize." And I walk away, live to fight another day. Because again, a 30-second interaction with you, and I walk around and I preach to be healing, or I preach to be a deacon, or I preach to be a woman of God, right? But I allowed a 30-second interval with you to spoil my whole day and take away every bit of peace that I had. How important was that? How
Mm.
hypocritical is that? When I preach to people, healing and forgiveness is the most important part of being free. That's the part that's not free. It takes
Yeah.
work. It's not easy,
No, it's not
but
easy,
it's the best thing since sliced bread, baby.
but it also goes back to awareness. It also goes back to awareness full circle because
Yeah, yeah,
what you're projecting out has nothing to do with me.
right.
So therefore, I'm not going to receive it. I'm not going to allow that energy to tap into my energy and
Baby.
become a part of my energy because guess what? That's not my security, that's yours.
There
So
you
guess
go.
what? I'm gonna move around and I'm gonna let you have it. So I completely agree with you on that because I used to be the one who I felt like standing on my boundaries was cussing you out or getting my point across or yelling to the top of my lungs to get my no.
Mm-mm.
That was
Yeah,
still allowing the outside, the external to
Yeah. To
affect the
control your
internal.
internal, right?
We're not doing
And that
that.
means you just lost the fight.
Exactly.
You don't live to fight another day when you do that. Because
No.
now I feel bad because I done showed my behind in
Mm-hmm.
public, or I didn't allow that thing. Now there was something maybe more serious that I could have been dwelling on that didn't even have nothing to do with this person. But that
Yeah.
little minute thing that that person did allowed me to hold on to everything that was negative for the
Mhm.
rest of the day, or at least for the next few hours. Who feels that?
And the
Me.
transmutation of energy, because guess what? Now they done riled you up. They feel a whole lot better. And here you is over here mad at the world.
All jacked up. All jacked up.
It can't get it
Man, it's
together.
crazy. It's
And here
crazy.
you are. You gotta reset for 2, 3
Right.
days to let it
Right.
go. No. So I agree with you on that.
I don't
Um,
have that luxury anymore, Nisi Poo. I just don't. I'm like,
no,
yo, yeah, you, 2 plus 2 is 7. You're absolutely right.
yeah,
Have a
yeah.
blessed day.
Have all
I
right.
don't care how you got to that. I don't care. I'm not going to argue with you. I'm not going to correct you on it. Yeah.
Mm-mm. Not doing it. Not doing it.
Wow. Wow. Look at the time. Uh, you know what I'm saying? And it's over because
Yeah.
I just don't have the energy. I don't have the time.
No.
Life is too short. I pray every day that whenever my last day here has come, that last day be as joyful as my first day here. You know,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
before all of the drama and the trauma, I believe I was doomed from the womb because of how I got here. But of course, as a few-second-old baby, I didn't know that. So the joy of taking that breath and whining and crying, and then my mama put me in her arms, that's a joyful day for everybody, for the most part.
I used to look at it like that I
Mhm.
was doomed from the womb.
Mhm.
That my life was just full of adversity.
Right.
But I shifted my perspective on that, and now I say that I was chosen from the womb.
Okay.
Because guess what? I can't help the world. I can't help people, and I can't be that person, that voice to the world if I didn't experience anything.
All
And so
right.
my experiences gave me what I needed to be able to help someone else.
Right. I got you. I got you.
That's what gets me through the day. My path is different.
Uh-huh.
Your path is different, but
Yep.
we're all uniquely and wonderfully made.
Yep. Yep.
Yes. So, what would you
Absolutely.
say to someone who feels stuck in their trauma right now at this present moment?
Hold on. Hold on. Find something, care how minute it is. Just like they say, if you have the faith of a mustard seed, right, that you can move a mountain, right? Your trauma might have you. You might still be stuck in your trauma. You might be in an abusive relationship. You might be in whatever your trauma is, right? But trouble don't last always.
Yes.
This too shall pass. For real, for real. And if you don't believe me, please buy my books, please. Uh,
Yeah.
and I'm saying that, pun intended, but oh my God. When I tell you, when I was a kid, man, I just wanted out. I wanted out. And I wanted out because of the stuff that I couldn't control. But
Mhm.
today, I know that it might look bleak right now, this moment, but joy does come in the morning.
Absolutely.
Joy does come in the morning light. Talk to somebody, pick up the phone, go for a walk, start turning your wheels as to how you're going to get out of this. You deserve better. If it's a person that's causing you this trauma, that person gotta go,
Mhm.
or you gotta go. Uh, if it's a thing, if it's a job, there's another job out there. And I know it look like right now with what's going on around us. Oh my God, I'm overqualified for this. I'm underqualified for that. I make $50 an hour. I can't walk into a new job and make that thing. Look, all of those are excuses for you not freeing yourself. The best thing that a person could do, because your trauma is not your fault, is heal. Because you're healing. That is your responsibility.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Who you said a mouthful there for sure. I would just tell that person, put you first.
Yeah.
Choose you. Choose you.
Because you
Um,
can't pour from an empty cup. And
ab-
you know good for the dog, the cat, the wife, the husband, the kids, your job, your subordinates at work, if you're a team lead or whatever the case may be, CEO of a company, you are no good to anybody else if you are not taking measures for that self-care that you need to function at a
choose you.
high frequency throughout the day.
Yes.
If you running around here daily on a low frequency, baby, what good are you doing for anybody?
Not even yourself. Choose you. Absolutely. So you are a proud voice also within the LGBTQIA community. How
Yes.
has your identity shaped your healing journey? Let
Well,
me rephrase it. How
okay.
has your identity within the community helped reshape the healing journey for others that you come in contact with?
Good question. I'm glad you asked that. Whom I sleep with has nothing to do with whom I am as a person.
Yes.
And when I got to that place where I could accept every part of me for who I am not, what you think about me has nothing to do with me. It has to do with you.
You.
But what I think about me means everything. I can't expect you to respect me. Oh God, let me help somebody here. I can't expect you to want to hear anything I gotta say. I can't expect you to love me if I don't respect, love, and want to be the best me that I could be. Whom I lay with every night doesn't make me who I am. You know, I tell people all the time, look, it's because I'm queer, right? Affects you. If me being queer affects you or your relationship, then somebody's gay. They just ain't saying it.
That part. That part. That part.
Baby, bye. You don't know how good this program or this book is until you open up the forward and you look at that first page. If you keep judging something by its outsides, right? If it looks good, that don't always mean it's good. If it looks nasty, some people, oh, I can't eat that because it's green. But have you ever tasted it? Oh no. So how do you know you like it or not? Right? But it's something that someone else said about a whole community of people that you don't know one gay person because you've closed yourself down to the first thing that you think about is ah. First of all, you not of God if you running around here judging me. That's number one. And number two,
Talk about it.
I could be the one that God sent with the message that you need to spare your life for another day. But you just blew that word because you were busy looking at my outside.
Hmm. Judgment. Hmm. Come on, talk about it. So I want to know, um, because I love everybody. I don't see none of that anyhow. But I want us to be able to. I want you to be able to tell the world How can we, as a community, as a collective, better support and create safer spaces for the LGBTQIA individuals who are also navigating their trauma? Because I feel that that is very important.
No life matters until all lives
Lives
matter.
matter. Yes.
Black lives don't matter until my Black life matters. White lives don't matter. No lives matter until collectively we all matter, because collectively is the only way we're going to get from under this stuff that we're under right now. Hate is a bold thing, and the only thing that can cancel out hate is love, period. And love is love.
Yes.
God is love. You
Yes.
can't run around here talking about I believe in God and God, 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 God. But I hate them. Wait a minute. You just said you love God and God is love. But the only thing God asks us to do is to love one another. Be fruitful, multiply, love one another, and treat your brother, your neighbor, as you wish to be treated. It didn't say you get a choice to pick which neighbor that is. It didn't say you get a choice to choose whether it's a Muslim, a Jew, a gay person, a black, white. It don't say that. You show me anywhere in the Bible or whatever book you believe in where it says hate somebody. And not one of the books, not the Quran, not the Surah, not the Bible, not any book that you believe in, that is your book that guides you through this earthly experience, this spiritual being in this earthly experience. I haven't come across not one book that says, oh, but while you're at it, if you see one that looks like that or that believes differently from you, hate that one.
Mm.
Yeah. You know, the Bible has all of the parables that Jesus talked about in red. None of that red writing have I found anything that says anything about homosexuality. Not have I found any word, not any scripture that says hate or homosexuality. Not
Yeah,
one.
not one.
So you go around and you keep on judging me for what you think or what you see. And I'll keep on being free and loving on God's people and
Again.
loving on myself and getting the blessings that God has for me
Yeah,
because of who I am, not who I love or who I sleep
absolutely.
with.
Absolutely. What impact do you hope your books will have on the world?
Possibly it'll teach you something about the LGBTQ plus community, because though they're not gay books, some of my life's journey, my life story is in the book. Some of my pain, some of my suffering that led me to my testimony is in the book. So
Well,
one, the
hold on,
one,
actually, before we even go any further with that, the word gay and the
mhm,
word joy mean
same thing.
thank you.
It's the
So
same thing. And depending upon what book you look at or what language you speak,
yes,
gay is joy in certain languages.
absolutely. So
Yeah,
I just wanted to put that out there
yeah, yeah,
for the world to know.
yeah.
Now I'm sorry for interrupting you,
No,
but
no,
carry
no, it's fine. It's fine. But the one thing that I hope is that it's something that you read in my book, something that you hear in my speaking, because I too am a speaker, and I'm an advocate for healing and forgiveness. Something that you read or something that I share with you keep you from losing a kid that might feel like they can't come talk to you, so they take their own life, or being bound in your spirit because it's something you might be feeling about yourself, but you're so afraid to be you because of what they might think or they might say. Prayerfully, something that I share with you will allow you to be free and to free yourself and to better understand somebody who's different.
Yes. Whew. I just had to take a moment and pause and let that sit and marinate. So I want to talk about searching before we wrap up.
Okay.
In searching, what deeper layers of yourself did you uncover that you didn't share in Pretty Little Bastard Child?
Well, it's and for those of you who haven't figured it out yet, who actually have the first book, um, my memoir is going to be a trilogy. Uh, every book that you read leading up to the last book leaves you with a cliffhanger. Just like when a season of episode 20 of season 2, it usually leave you with a cliffhanger, right? So Pretty Little Bastard Child left off when I graduated out of 6th grade. And searching picks up from when I graduated out of 6th grade, which is elementary school. And it takes you through normal, okay, let's just say, because I believe everybody has some form of dysfunction in their family. Whether it's deep or not, that's on that person.
Mm-hmm.
But once you get to that age of rites of passage, going from tweens to teen, if you have that extra stuff that's going on and that extra dysfunction, it's magnified to the 25th power, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everything that you're going to learn from uh, life, period, you learn between the ages of 1 and 6. You learn how to talk. You develop your own little personality. You go through whatever you're going to go through, and all of your motor skills are honed in on and developed between those ages.
Mm-hmm.
The rest of your personality comes out once you hit 11, 12, 13 and beyond. Then you learn a whole bunch of other stuff about tweaking your personality. So let's just say there was some other stuff that went on that made you feel like you weren't worthy of anything. Maybe even that you hated yourself or that nobody loved you.
Mm-hmm.
Searching is going to take you through that part of my life where I was just looking for something to hold on to. It's got to be a better way. It's got to be more. They say it's a God. Well, where you at? Because I
Mm-hmm.
don't feel you, you know. And searching basically is that part uh, of my life where I'm looking for something, anything, just to make me hold on because I had
Absolutely.
had it. I had had enough.
Absolutely. How do you honor your inner child now?
I play when I want to play. I laugh when I want to laugh. I go and I play board games. I sometimes go and sit on a swing um, and swing, you know. Um, I allow her to be a little girl when she wants to be a little girl.
Yes. Yeah.
It's important.
It is. It's very important. Just like when we finish this interview, I'm going to feed my inner child some ice cream. She's
Okay. I think I might have some cookies in almond milk. If I find me some cookies, and I think I got some cookies. Go get me
yes.
some milk and cookies.
Yes, I love that because it is important. People don't know. We talk about embracing all of us. The inner child, she needs us. She's a
Yeah.
part of that us, you know. Um, that ego. It's a part of us as well, So you have to embrace all of you. Um, so what affirmation or truth do you live by in this season of your life?
The greatest affirmation on a daily basis that I give myself is, you are loved, you are worthy of love, and you are loving. Live, laugh, love.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I
But
love
most
it.
of all, be a light. Yeah.
Absolutely. So where can people connect with you and support your work?
Well, you can get the books on lulu.com. Um, you put in Author Danny. So far, that's the only one I found. You put in Love Language of Grief, Volume 1, Volume 2. Um, I have another one that's on Lulu, Echoes of Affection, Tales of a Human Connection. You can go to www.authordannyd.com for searching and Pretty Little Bastard Child. I'm getting ready. I'm rebuilding a website where all of my books, my merchandise. Wait a minute, where is it? Yeah, I got merch. It's got my shirts, and on the back, it's your trauma's not your fault, but your healing is your responsibility. And on the front, it's my brand, which is Pretty Little Bastard Child, the brand. Um, New merch is coming out this month. I have sweatshirts and hoodies. My production company, which is Dante Enterprises LLC. STEMP, which is spiritual, emotional, mental, and physical healing for your trauma. And you can find me on my socials, Arthur Danny D3 on Instagram, Danielle and Dubois Matthews on Facebook, Arthur Danny D3, I think, on YouTube, or just you'll find me. If you want me, you'll find me.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And if
So
that ain't enough, you contact my niece. So right there, she know how to find
I know how
me.
to find you. Just
You know,
call
my
me.
email is what is my email? Oh my God.
That's okay. Look, just reach out. I'll drop the link for you. I got
There you go.
you. So if
But
you
I
could
have
go
had a
back,
ball, Nisi Pooh. Thank you so much for having me. I
you're
appreciate it.
welcome. You are so
So
welcome.
every
So I guess
time I talk with you, it's like having a nice warm cup of tea.
I love it. I love it. So I guess we're gonna wrap up. But before we wrap up, I want to ask if you could go back and speak to your younger version of yourself who endured it all. Auntie, what would you say to her?
It gets greater later. Just hold on.
And give her a big old hug.
That's it. It gets
Yeah,
greater later. Just hold on.
absolutely.
I know it's dark in here right now, but
Yeah,
that's a light, and
yeah,
it's at the end of the tunnel. But keep on focusing. Hold on. It gets greater later.
absolutely. I love it. Well, it's been such a pleasure having you with us tonight on Let's Talk 3. And I want to thank each and every one of you all who tuned in.
Thank you.
Um, of course, if you need to connect with Danny, hit me up. I got you. And till next time, enjoy your night.
Peace.